Hi everyone. I just woke up from the most incredible dream. It's 1:48 in the morning and I was woken up about midnight, which I don't set an alarm. I haven't set an alarm for months because I know I get woken up constantly around this time, and I get up and this is where I do my work. And I had this feeling when I woke up I needed to get up, but then I was like, this is too early. It's a Sabbath. Like, why would I have to get up this early? And so I went back to sleep and I had this dream. And it was what I call a silhouette dream. I call it that because it's just literally what I need to see and everything else is kind of blacked out. Um, and there was a man staring through my window and he had woolly hair, which is kind of like what I was talking about yesterday in Revelation. Um, the white hairs on the clock and things. He had woolly hair. It was kind of grayish. I saw his face. Um, and he was staring through my window, and he was staring because he wanted to break in the house. And he just kept staring through the window. And I was walking around with a chisel in my hand, okay, like a chisel that you use to carve wood. Okay, and he wanted it. He saw the chisel and he wanted it. He kept looking at me, and I sort of walked behind him, as if I was going to what what the story was we were waiting and we were about to leave for a ball, and I know it was a ball or an event because there was a man with me, and this female came out dressed in green, like a green dress, and I remember the man commenting, and he's like, "Whoa, looking good," to her, and she was really short. I remember that, and he was short too for some reason. Like really, they were really short. Like I mean, like 5'7", something like that. And anyway, so we're getting ready to go, and I'm walking around with this wood chisel in my hand, thinking, oh, I got to get rid of this. Like I can't take this with me. It looks like a weapon. And so I had this set of drawers in my house just in front of the window where he was looking through, and he saw me outside the house, with the um, with the chisel in my hand, and I'm like, oh, I better go put that in the drawer. And so I went to put it in the drawer, and then as I put it in the drawer and I went to leave, I heard the thoughts of him, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm going to disable this alarm system and get in." It was quite like at the time I didn't quite understand it, until I woke up and I thought about it. And he's like, I'm going to disable the screamer, which the screamer is the bit that makes all the noise. Um, it's the bit that like warns people of the alarm, like of the thieves coming in. Um, and so this thief really wanted to get in my house. He really wanted to break in. And so I think it's an incredible dream because there's so much meaning in it. And it can be interpreted many ways. And so I started looking at the scriptures, and I started realizing that, you know, he does say, like, I come as a thief, and if you're not watching it, but he just generally refers to himself as the thief, okay, like he when he talks about it. So it's a positive sign. And I think he's really saying, and I think he gave me this dream for this group, to say, I'm at the door, I'm literally watching, and I'm about to break in your house. Um, and you better be ready. So it was the feeling of the dream was positive and very matter of fact. It was like I was allowed to see his face. I saw his face. I could recognize his face, all his features of his face, of the person he was in the dream anyway. Because the man that I've seen in the dream a few times has changed a little bit. Um, so I've had some very intense dreams where I've seen this same man, and he's given me things to say who he is. I can't share any more than that. But so seeing this man, it was a different man this time, and so yeah, it had an intensity, but it was a positive intensity, and it felt like I don't want to assume, but it did feel a bit like it was given for a very specific reason. It was, and so this man just wanted to get into this house, and it was such a, yeah, it was such a compelling thing. So I really feel the need to share this dream. I don't know whether he's saying I'm on the right track from yesterday's videos, or whether he's saying, just make sure you keep watching, don't fail to get out of bed, keep working. So I feel like he's saying keep working, keep doing that work you're doing, and I feel like sharing this dream. Like I don't like sharing all my dreams at all, but I felt the need to rush down and share this dream. That he's literally at the door, um, watching, waiting, and he's waiting now. Like, I don't think there's any qualms about it. I think it's just he's waiting for that moment because he was so keen to disable that alarm and get in the house. He wanted that chisel. That was the thing that got me. Like how much he wanted that chisel. He's just like, that's mine. Like, I want that chisel. And I woke up and I'm like, why a chisel? And I'm like, carving. What's got to do with carving wood? And he's the wood. That's what he did. He was a carpenter. And so he, yeah. So and then the lady in green, I think, symbolizes, when I showed that 3D model of the throne. He says, I remember now because it was a point I was thinking on. He says, John says, I think it's either John or Ezekiel says that the throne room was green, like an emerald. I think an emerald. And so I have a feeling it might be related to that. So I'm gonna have a bit of a look this morning. I've got some work to do. But as I was saying, I was given some scriptures on what to work on now, and I know they were from him. And so I think that what that means is, like, I got to keep focused on those very specific tasks he's now, giving me to work on. And, as to the point of yesterday's videos, like, there might be some details in there, because I'll tell you this now. I was thinking this and I was reminded of this just moments ago. The very first images I was given in the sky, were, one was like a soldier and the other was like a bird. And I kept thinking about this constantly, okay, and a dragon as well, okay. I don't know if you guys remember far back, I kept posting images of a dragon. There was all this related to a dragon. I think he's been trying to steer us towards a dragon, to be honest. And the eagle with the fish in its mouth in my first image of the sky was I believe is Aquila and Pisces. So I need to think on the timing of that a little bit. But the fish in its mouth is us, as in Pisces, and Aquila's the eagle. And the soldier actually could be Sagittarius, or it could be, I think it might be Sagittarius, so it could be Orion as well. Orion's like the hunter, the warrior. But when like, that was so long ago, guys. It was like a year and a half ago. To receive that was really crazy, because it just shows he's showing off, like, how, like, I had no idea I'd be looking at the Mazzaroth, and now I had no idea I'd be doing any of this. I had no idea I would even understand any of this. So he's showing off a little bit, potentially there, if that's what he's saying. But I also had that moment when I was running with the eagles following me and things like that. I think he might have been hinting about the eagle, which I think is significant. So I believe like it's probably the strongest part of everything I researched during that video was Aquila and the shield, because that's that's what he wants us to do. Like that's what I believe he wants to do is protect us during these times. Like, so he's coming like a thief. He's coming to break in. I'm seeing eagles, and all of that stuff. It's all very positive, guys. So keep looking up. I'll let you know how this unfolds. Yeah, it's really it's kind of rattled me in a positive way, to be honest. It makes me want to just go and look at every detail again, and just yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a really interesting period of time. All right, God bless, guys. I had to share that. Absolutely had to share that today. All right.